Hey, I'm Mitchell Davis, a Laravel developer.
G'day, mate. I'm Gavin, sales and marketing, head of. How's it
Head
going,
of.
buddy?
I'm good. We are building SixSides.co. It's an events platform, helps you build a stronger community through events that you're running. This is our B2B SaaS journey. Mate, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's bloody cold here today.
Is
So,
it?
yeah, we've had big storms every night for the last couple of nights. I got hailed on 2 nights ago and our
Mm,
backyard flooded. It was very surprising for this time of the year, but, mate, it's
yeah.
really cold. So,
Yeah. Okay. And no damage from hail?
no, just a pool filled up.
Yeah.
Oh, it was only tiny hail, so it wasn't big hail chunks. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
How are you,
Oh,
mate?
we got.
Yeah.
I'm good. But on hail, we got smashed here a few years ago. My parents' car, one of their cars got like absolutely smashed,
Mhm.
windscreens and everything. It
Yeah.
was a huge deal. I don't know. Does that ring a bell for you guys? Did you get any hail a few years ago that was like a big deal? You did?
Yeah, we've had a car written off from hail a few years ago. Our friends were
Wow.
over at our house. Their car was fine, and our car got written off. Like it was just the structure of like the Captiva, which is what Mel had. It was great
Yeah.
though. We got a good insurance payout.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it can be a bit of a blessing, right? But anyway, no hail here, and the weather's been fine. Do you like storms? You a storm fan?
Love them, but the family doesn't. The dog
Yeah. Right.
especially doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Melvin, he's a black long haired dog. So
Yeah.
there's been a few times where we've had lightning, and if he doesn't run off, but if he gets out in the storm, he runs, and
Yeah.
he only needs to go 5 meters, and you can't see him anymore. And he did
Yeah.
it one
Right.
of the big storms. Or like he can get hit by a car here. Thank God he come
Yeah.
back. Yeah,
Yeah. That's really stressful.
mate. I'm being really conscious of me saying yes. I've been listening to some podcasts, and I'm like, yeah, right, yeah. I reckon I'm saying yes 100 times.
I'm bad with. I've noticed I say 100% or absolutely. Those are my like. Okay, I was kind of listening, and now I'm ready to move on. I've been thinking about the next topic, and I'm like, yeah, okay, absolutely, and then I move on. So I'm
Int-
also trying to be, yeah. So take note
Interesting.
of that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can call me out on it.
yeah. Even then, I was
Yes.
doing it. Mm. It's better than saying no, I guess.
Well, that's true. Yes, and bit
Yeah.
of improv here. Anyway, we have a few topics to go through today. We are trying to be more topical and a bit more
Deliberate.
present with our thinking and prepared. So we will get into our company values in a minute, but first you've got some lead gen updates for us. So how's
Yeah,
everything going?
yeah. Started lead gen last week. It's going okay. We've got a couple of people talking to us. There's one person that I'm speaking to that's running a Java conference later in the year in New Zealand. I've got to go back to him today. He messaged me last night. I just wasn't in a position to talk to him. Not a very big conference, so
Okay.
they're only just starting out. But it might be an idea to help
Yeah.
get them start building that over the next couple of years. So
Cool.
that's interesting.
What are you doing? Like for people like me who prior to knowing you, I wouldn't really have any idea what lead gen is. Like,
Yep.
what are you actually doing when it comes down to spending time on this?
Sure. So the most difficult thing with any new business is start getting momentum and letting people know that you exist, that we exist.
Yep.
Right. Up until now, we've leveraged our networks, our first degree networks, or the results of your first event kit app at Laracon AU. Every conference we've had as a result has come from Laracon last year.
Yep.
So, but we have out in the world, there's way bigger marketing event app or platform companies that would be dominating with marketing. So to go head to head in that marketing it's expensive, and we're not quite there yet. So the alternative is to do lead generation or outreach to let people know we exist. Right. Yep. The difficulty now is with AI and outreach platforms like Meet Alfred or Apollo or N number, there's millions of them, is people are so bombarded now with lead gen outreach that it's so difficult to get people's attention. Right.
Yep.
So, but you have to do it and have to find a way to try to break through the noise and differentiate it. And if you think about, there's a scale of what someone goes on before they will engage with you, right? You have to get their attention, then you have to build awareness, you have to get them interested, and then get them to engage, right? Most people will go try to get their attention and get them to engage too fast. Hey, Mitch, I can see that you're the founder of SixSides. We're an agency. We can help you here. Do you want to have a 15-minute call? That worked 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. So unless you have a burning need and someone's like, oh, I need to go find someone, and you happen to land in their inbox at that right time, it won't work.
Yeah.
Right?
And it doesn't work for me as a receiver of those types of messages. I'm like,
yep.
Get out of here. No, I don't want a 15-minute call with you, rando, that I just got this spam email from.
For sure. But when you think about, if you are in a position to say yes to that and you want that, you have attention to a problem, you are aware of it, you are looking to engage with someone, they just happen to find you at the right spot. So you do go through those 4 stages, except that company has no impact on those previous ones, right? So all we're trying to do now is, I'm thinking about that in a strategic way. We have to start, and it's not perfect. I'm using your LinkedIn profile to build out a group of people for you to talk to. That has slightly changed. I did build out a list of technical devs to reach out to, technical conferences, but once I created the list and saved the list, I couldn't share it with you. So I just did it. What I did was created a list of associations, and then people within there, community builders, and then have reached out, and I'm having some conversations on your behalf in your profile already around that. I made a misstep with one of them, I feel, but it's just all learning.
What do you want to?
Oh, yeah, I just felt like I sounded a bit too salesy, right? Like,
Is this with the person that, let's not name them, but is this with someone that you said I should reach out to?
No, not that guy. No, not that guy.
This is someone else. Something that I noticed is you use like ... as a way to like space out a message. Yeah, I've noticed. I never do that.
Okay.
So
mate, if that's the worst of it, then that's fine. I'm not going to write like you. I actually got a response back from that person just as we spoke now.
Oh, really?
So he said he runs a mobile coffee trailer to run entirely by the youth autistic people. So yeah, it's not going down the path that I want to speak
Might
to.
not be the right.
But yeah, he might not be the right person, but it's okay. At least we're starting to have lead generation. You're never going to have 100% success. So that's in motion. And then I'm also running mine in motion. So I got a conversation coming up with someone who's starting a Java conference at the end of the year. There's some nuance in there that I don't want to discuss here. It just I'm not quite sure how it'll work. But that's just trying with low-hanging fruit to see if there's someone who happens to be looking. The second one is I want to offer value first. So I think I talked about this last week, about doing some reports on some companies to help them.
You did.
I started doing that last week, but I quickly learned, I spent a lot of time doing a report for someone, and I hadn't established a connection, an ability to deliver the report to them. So I did the report, tried to find their details. I found them eventually, tried to call the guy to let him know it was coming. So cold calling, try to grab their attention. But his voicemail said he was overseas. And so I said, okay, I've called people and I know when they go overseas, there's a different ringtone on that. And it didn't sound like that was it. So I emailed it to him anyway. Haven't had a response. And I've subsequently heard that he doesn't get back to people. And I'm like, hang on a sec, I need to do this a little more. So I'm going to iterate. I'm iterating on that, but I'll get that working eventually. And that's really it with lead generation, is you have to, 1, increase your effort, have consistent effort. 2 is improve your skill, and 3 is and targets. There's only 3 levers that you can pull. So we're already learning from last week about, okay, hang on, I'll iterate. And you never get it right the first time. You will very rarely get it correct. It takes a long time to iterate, right? Because you're competing against everyone else doing their version of trying to get people's attention, right?
Yeah.
So, but we've started now. We've got a couple of conversations. We're relying heavily on conferences to generate leads as well. So,
Yeah. It's a part of our growth strategy.
yeah,
So will be interesting to see with Denmark right around the corner. We'll get
But-
into that later.
but I have been unbelievably distracted this week by us setting up our accounts. So you are so lucky to be down in Sydney, like, because people who know Roman has been on the podcast. He's our accountant, and my wife Melanie is also helping out with our accounts.
Yep.
But every time I've started getting some momentum, those two have just stopped me and gone, hey, we need to sort out our chart of accounts, or what is there GST on Work OS? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, ask Mitch. She goes, but you're the co-founder. And I'm like, oh my God. So I have shielded you from so much this week. But
thank you.
The result is our accounting's up to speed, like is set up properly, right? Our tax is due this time. It's all getting done. So, but I have been distracted doing lead gen for the more quality, in-depth stuff. But I do have a plan for that. Now. Yeah.
Well, why don't we pivot to the accounting side of things? So,
absolutely.
It's riveting stuff. So, Mel reached out yesterday and said, hey, would you mind having a look at this spreadsheet? She just had some questions for me. Some of those were like asking, okay, which of these services charge GST? And I've just basically, like, over the last 5 years or so that I've been doing my own accounting under Atlas and some of my other businesses, I kind of just base it on if they're charging in Australian dollars, then it's GST.
Yeah, right.
Otherwise, it's not. So that just makes it really easy for me to just go, no, okay, this is
Sure.
GST or not.
Yep.
And then Mel asked me to get some invoices for her of like some of the different things that we paid for. So I got those. It did make me wonder, okay, is that going to be a regular thing, or is that just an initial setup? Because if it's going to be regular, where we need to have every invoice from every service that we're using flow into Xero, sounds like a lot of work, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I wonder, like, do we ever look at any of that stuff? Because I've been doing my accounting like this for forever with an actual like accountant. So it's not just me like just submitting my own stuff at the end of the year. And they're normally quite happy to just do it based on whatever's been put into Xero, you know? So
I think she's doing it to set up to make sure we got GST sorted, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're actually like keeping the PDFs and stuff in Xero. I think that's fine initially to have like a, hey, okay, this is what a Work OS invoice looks like or whatever. But then I don't think we need every one forevermore. But anyway, we'll see. I'm very, to be clear, Mel, if you are listening, I'm very grateful that you are helping us out. So please don't take any of this the wrong way.
But she's also taking guidance from Roman on what to do, right? So she, so the short answer is I don't know. But this also brought up another thing. You had another call earlier in the week, and one of the things that I'm really conscious of is you are in Sydney and Mel's here. And I was saying to Mel, I was like, you've got to form your relationship with Mitch away from me, right? And just, we don't want you, like, it's our business and Mel's working for us. And we need to make sure that that's the way it stays as well, right? So, because
it was good. It was great getting on the phone. So Mel called me, and I was busy, but I didn't pick up the call because I didn't have her number, right? And then she sends me a text. And I was like, oh, right, okay, right. I gotta come back to you. So I called her, and then she said, okay, I'll send through some stuff. And it was funny. She was like, I'm not doing anything dodgy. You'll be able to see all of it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I trust you. Like, it's fine. It's all good. She was just like establishing what was going to happen. And it was great. So I'm very grateful. So it's awesome.
But I also think, yes, trust, but I also think we need to be able to have our checks and balances regardless, right? So, and
that's right.
Whatever they decide, like whatever Roman's an advisor too. If we feel that we don't need to do what he says, then that's fine as well. But laying the foundations here is really important so we don't have to worry about it. right?
Yeah.
For the, it's just off our plate. So,
Yeah.
and that's always, getting this stuff is always an afterthought for me, just because we're trying to keep the lights on. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. There's always more important stuff to do,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
anyway, it's good. It feels like, okay, now things are settled. So sounds like you have shielded me from a lot of that. So thank you. But
Yeah,
look.
mate. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Why don't we get into the big subject this week? So we have gone through over now 2 different meetings, have gone through and kind of written down and catalogued our vision, mission, and our values. And I think vision and mission are a bit of a tongue twister if you say them quickly. I was struggling earlier.
Yeah. Why don't you define what they are? Do you still have that handy?
I do. So, because it wasn't immediately clear to me what those were. I get the idea, but a specific definition. So I've got here the vision is where you're going. The mission is what you're doing now to get there. And the values are how you operate along the way.
Yep.
So we kind of took that and then we workshopped it together over these 2 meetings that we've had on this.
Yep.
And we've settled on something. Do you want to walk us through?
Yeah.
Vision?
So I guess before that, why is this? I guess I'm the one that said it, but do you know, like, why is this important for our, give some context around that.
So yeah, this was your idea. It's always something that like I've kind of thought, oh yeah, we should have like a mission statement or something like that. And like even in other businesses that I've been involved in, but I've never actually sat down to do it.
Mhm.
So I think this is important, especially when we've got 2 people. You and I are different. We have different ideas on things. It's great to have like some alignment here of this is what we actually are trying to achieve with this business, not just for us personally, but for our customers and for our indirect customers. I think you called them in the grant. So it's really like, it's good to know, okay, this is what we're here for. I think 1 for us, but 2 for customers as well. To be able to see that it's kind of something that we can wear proudly on our sleeves, like this is what we're here and what we're trying to do. And then our actions should reflect that we are following these, this vision, the mission, and the values, right?
I've seen this in many businesses that I've been in before, right? Or you sit down and you update your mission and your vision and all that kind of stuff. And I've always thought that it was, and I always thought it was interesting, but never really understood the impact behind it or the reason behind it. It was just a task that we were required to do.
Yeah.
But I think now that we're more, particularly in our situation where we're remote, right? You're down in Sydney and I'm up here in Queensland, and we will probably be hiring remote in time, like to a degree. I think stating the vision and the mission and the values is really important because it aligns people when we're not in the same environment. When you're working in the same office, there's an implicit or unspoken vision and mission. You can see it by demonstrating action, right? But when we're only catching up 1 or 2 hours, 1 hour a day, maybe a couple of hours or 3 or 4 hours a week, that can easily get diluted or not eroded, I think. And I think it's more important now than ever. And that's why I've kind of pushed for this. I think it's really
for this,
yeah, because it ties into how we talk to customers. And my thoughts are, if we say that's our vision, where our vision is, which is what we stated, is help associations and event organizers create events that spark meaningful connection, strengthen communities, and deliver lasting impact. If a company has that as their drivers, then we're kind of aligning at the top level, right? And like, oh, hang on a sec, they seem to be aligned in what we're doing. Okay. Opposed to, hey, we just want to make money, which was your original vision. No.
And then you corrected me that no, that's a goal.
That's a goal.
So yes, I still stand by it. I do want to make money.
Of course, everyone wants to make money. Yeah.
It's a goal. It's not a vision. So.
Yeah, that's right. What's your personal vision, maybe, but not this. Yeah. So,
maybe. So then I guess we get into the mission. So the mission is what we're doing to get towards the vision. And your mission can change over time. You kind of instructed me on this earlier. So the vision hopefully won't change. That's what we have set as our goal. But the mission, so what we're doing right now is equipping organizers with the tools, insights, and processes to connect every side of their event community before, during, and after each event, ensuring measurable value for all. So that sounds right. You think about everything that we've talked about over the last, 6 months on the show. It sounds right. That's what we're doing. So we have built a bunch of tools, a lot of functionality into the app and what will become the dashboard. Like our system has a lot of ways to help people connect, which is great. But we're also going to be able to measure all of that and report it back, because we know a lot of these associations, that's some of the type of reporting that they need to do, is to demonstrate the value that was created during the event that they threw. Right? So,
and when you think about most event apps or event platforms are just, for the event, right? 2, 3, 4 days, whatever that is. It's one of the biggest bugbears about not being able to track measurable value after the event, right? And so that's one of the things that we're trying to do. Our mission is to change that. That's been an unstated mission. I think that wraps that up really nicely, right? And giving them the tools to connect, and processes to connect every side of the event community. I think it's really aligns perfectly with what we're trying to achieve. Right? Right.
Absolutely. So now we get into values.
Oh, just before that, if that resonates with anyone, please leave us a review.
Well, reach out instead. If you're our target customer and this sounds right by you, don't just leave us a review. Reach out to Gavin and let's have a conversation. So let's get into the values. We've got 5 of them here, so maybe I'll just kind of blast through them. So to be clear, values are how we operate along the way. So we maximize engagement, breaking down barriers so more people connect and participate at an event. We deliver proven ROI, capture and measure the outcomes that matter to the event and their sponsors. We grow the community beyond the event, keeping the community active and connected year round. We streamline the workflow, so one platform to manage all of the people involved, the content, and to have the engagement data. Final point, tell your story. So capture and share your community's moments to raise awareness and achieve their goals and purpose.
Mate, that is so deep.
Well said there. I think we've absolutely nailed it. That's a pat on the back.
It is. I think the first one, maximize engagement, break down the barriers so more people connect and participate. When you first showed me when it was Event Kit back in November, I think, last year, dying as it's on your shirt today.
I brought it in for this reason. So, yes.
When you showed me that was the core of what I thought was really interesting about what you built. It's essentially, if you can breaking down those barriers so more people connect and participate is the first fundamental step in everything else being possible.
Yep, absolutely. That's what it was built for, was, well, one, to make a good talk at a conference, but it became way more than that. Once I realized, like, oh, okay, I don't want this thing to just be a schedule and a list of speakers. Like that's a website. That doesn't need to be an app. But being then able to think about it over months and go, okay, how can I make this like the best conference? And I wasn't organizing the whole event, but what could I do with the app to make this thing as good as possible? And it seemed to resonate. So it's great. I love that that's our first value, is maximizing engagement for people.
I was at an event last night and I was just standing. Now I'm just standing in a corner and watching people. Right, I just want to see how they.
Like a creep.
It's a bit weird. I wasn't invited.
You weren't even inside. You were out the window just watching.
And when I say an event, it was just neighbors eating dinner.
Oh Shit.
So I knocked on the door and see if they wanted to use SixSides. They said no. No.
They turned you down. They called the police.
So I was at a startup event last night and just watching people connect. There's so many connections. There were so many connections going on and so many people talking, and there was just no way for them to carry on after the event, right? Like, and even they had a question Q&A for, it was a pitch night. And so they had a Q&A for these sponsors, but there was no way for not sponsors, the speakers or the cohort it was going through, but there was no way for them, the cohort, the speakers or the pitchers, to continue on the conversation after or see what was actually asked of them, right? It was just very one-dimensional in the moment, right? And I was like, we have such an impact here, right?
Yeah. Now, is this that event that the organizer wanted us to have the app ready to go for? Is it that? Yeah. Okay.
She's going overseas.
How did that conversation go?
Yeah, good. She said, how's it going? I said, yeah, it'll be ready by, she's going to South America for 3 months, like next week. And the next one's in January next year. Cool. And I'm like, yeah, we'll be ready by then for sure. And she's like, great. Awesome. We started, I told her our vision for going forward. And she was like, that's what you're already going to do, isn't it? And I was like, yes, but slightly differently. She's like, that's brilliant. But I thought you were doing that already. And I'm like, yeah, okay, good.
It's good. It's funny because we've had so many conversations with different people and testing different ideas and things like that over the last 6-7 months. It's funny because there's so many different stories that we've told and different things that we've tested with people. It's a little, I can imagine it's a little hard to kind of keep track of, all those different conversations, things like that.
There are 3 Hollies in our world.
Yeah.
Just
nuts.
And lucky I haven't met Holly from volunteering, but I've met the others in person, and they're all blonde. They're all, but I can imagine them all, but there can't be 5 or 6 of them. I would lose track, right?
Yeah,
they're all very different parts of the community. So
that's the limit.
But mate, I think this is really interesting. Like, this will form part of how we talk about the platform, right? I think this should go into form part of our 30-second pitch, which we haven't done, which we should put on our thing to do next week.
We haven't done. All right, I'll put it in there now. You're going to hear it first thing. Well, in the first 5 minutes of next episode.
Sure.
All right. 30-second pitch. All right. It's in there, folks. Hold us accountable. Hit us up, Journey at SixSides. Cool. Well, on the subject of speaking with people, very rough segue, sorry. We ran our hypothesis, which we're not going to share exactly what it is just yet, but it's some way that we're thinking about growth. We ran that past 2 of our current customers. So we spoke with, last week we kind of talked about that we had a meeting coming up with Denmark later that day when we did the recording. We had that meeting. It went really well. And we ran this idea of how we can help them grow their community. And it went really well. So that was great. We spoke with Rasmus and Matthias at the Laravel Live Denmark team. Went really well. And then on Wednesday this week, just a couple of days ago, we spoke with Michael Drinda on the Laracon AU team. And that also went really well. It seemed to resonate with him probably a little more strongly with Denmark than it did with Michael. But I think that's just kind of a byproduct of the fact that Michael runs his event probably a little differently to most event organizers because he's
been doing it for a long time.
Well, that, and he's a very competent developer and can build his own things. Like he's doing a lot of DIY stuff. And to be clear, I think the Denmark guys are competent too. It's not a competition, but just he's really like heavily invested in some things that he wants to do on his own. So. Anyway, but the feedback from both camps has been really positive. So I am interested when the time comes to for you basically to have the conversation with Holly at Volunteering WA and then just get some feedback there. And then also with anyone else, any other prospects that are on the radar and just have a chat with them about it. So
I sent her a message yesterday. Earlier in the week, I saw that she was liking she liked one of our posts. So yeah, so
post.
I did reach out to her and said, hey, when you're ready, let's have a conversation. So she'll come back when she's ready. So
Cool. All right. Well, shout out to Holly.
Yep.
She keeps getting these shout outs.
Yeah. Now we had a conversation also last Friday with Denmark. Just an update. We're in the process of configuring the platform for that conference, and everything's going really well. They're really happy with your support and your responsiveness. So that's given them confidence as well. We are getting down to the wire.
We are, yeah. So at the time that we record, we're now less than a week away from the event happening, and the iOS app is up and live, no problems. We got an update out based on all the feedback that Rasmus gave us last week, and I was able to work on that over the weekend. I actually had a really late night. I was up working till 12:30 a.m. on, I think it was Sunday night, maybe it was Monday night, I'm not quite sure, but one of those nights, it's all a blur. Up working super late to get some of these updates done because I just wanted to have it up and submitted and kind of off my plate. And crazy thing, I think, like an amazing thing, I put the app up for review with Apple and Google at this 12:30 a.m., let's call it. I went and had a shower. Oh, sorry. I put it up for the expedited review as well, which is this extra special thing. You put your app up for review with Apple, and then you can raise like effectively a support ticket to say like, hey, we really need this reviewed as soon as possible. I went and had a shower. By the time I got out of the shower, the app was live in the App Store.
Yeah. So how much is a shower? Jeez.
It was a 6-hour shower. I didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah.
It was a 15-minute shower. So they got it completed in that time, which was just incredible and felt like, wow, Google is really far behind when it comes to this stuff. So now I can give you an update on Android. For whatever reason, I haven't been able to figure it out. They weren't able to, the Android reviewers, the Google reviewers weren't able to log into the app with the initial release that we did now like 2 weeks ago, I think. And we didn't find that out until a week later when they did the first review. So then they flag it and go, no, it's rejected. You've got to resubmit a build with the right credentials. I go on, I'm able to log in just fine. So I've pushed it back to them, but I then also took some of these updates that Rasmus had suggested and some other things that we wanted to get in place. Yep. And so put through a new build, and that was on, let's call that Sunday night, I think it was, at this 12:30 mark. I submitted to both. I lodged a support ticket with them then when I did it and said like, this is really important. Can you please review this as urgently as possible? Yeah. And then haven't heard anything since. So I last night, also in the shower, actually. Last night from the shower, I was like, okay, I better prompt Google because it's just thinking time in the shower, I guess. Better prompt Google and say like, hey, this is really important. Can you do this? Haven't heard anything. And then right before we started recording today, so now 16 hours later or something like that, same thing. So I'm just going to pepper them every day until this is done because it's ridiculous. Like, why does this only take 15 minutes with Apple, but it takes 2 weeks with Google? Yeah. It's really frustrating.
So will you put a link to you in the shower in the show notes below?
I won't. No, I'm in charge of the show notes, so that won't be there. So
you can find him on Twitter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's getting down to the, like, now Denmark can't send out their emails to get people to download the app until, so we're kind of stuck, right?
It really sucks. And like, this should not be the case. 2 weeks should be more than enough time to get an app approved, and they're just holding us up, and it makes us look bad. But I can tell you, like listeners and Denmark, if you happen to be listening, you guys, like we've done everything we possibly could to get this out the door in time. And it's really frustrating and feels shitty, like really shitty. So it's
there
a
are
huge
things
bummer.
that are just beyond our control, right?
So like I still have a ton of hope that this is going to go out in time. This is exactly what happened last year for Laracon AU, where the app was released like 3 days before the event. I'm very confident that this will all get over the line, but it's literally out of our hands. We've done everything we possibly could to get this up. Like I spent so many nights working on this till late and just like trying to get this done in time. Like I really don't feel like I could have done any more. So
so I guess when we do, let's assume that they probably come back to us sometime over the weekend.
Yeah.
So we will let Denmark know as soon as we get it right, because they want to put out there. Is there anything else that we need to give them? Is it just
we need to give them like that, the PDF with the QR codes and stuff like that. So that's still on our list that we got to do today, but that should be pretty quick. And I need to get, I need to get the download links up on our website, so they can at least, if they don't want to use our PDF, they can just send people there. Like, that's fine. So but beyond that, no, I don't think they're waiting on anything else for us. Rasmus sent through some more feedback overnight, and I just had a quick skim through that this morning, but there's no like, they just want some text changed, which now we're able to do really easily. Like not even like an Expo over the air update or anything like that. It's just like their onboarding text when you first log into the event. They want to set that up, and Rasmus has sent us the whole thing. So yeah, it's all like, we're ready. Basically, we are ready to go. From a technology standpoint, we are 100% ready. It's done. But I have some more configuration to do, which I will do probably today or tomorrow. I'll probably do it tomorrow. And then I'll be able to go back to them and say, hey, it's ready. As soon as we get word that Android is live, we'll let them know. And that's literally all we can do. So
fair enough.
Yeah, so that's Android. On the subject of working a shit ton on this lately, I have noticed that I've been really burnt out over the last month, especially maybe the last 2 months. It's been a real slog to get this app up and running and ready to go. And just this week, like after the app going through review and now being officially released for iOS, I felt a lot more free. It feels like, okay, I'm coming out from under this like huge weight that was basically just on my shoulders. There was nothing that you could have done to help get the app further along, like it's just not the way that it works. So yeah, it's funny. Like, last night we went out to Nicole and Jessica, Nicole's sister. We went out to dinner at a pub near here, and I left work at like 5:15 or something like that. And that's the first time that's happened in probably like 2 months.
Yeah, right.
Every day that I've been working, I've left at between 6 and probably more towards 7 o'clock.
Yep.
So this was like a bit of a, like, it was a big moment, to be able to just walk out and be like, okay, it's done. Like all the hard stuff that's been weighing me down with SixSides is like, it's done. There's some other things that we want to do, and I plan to roll out a couple more little things with an over-the-air update before Denmark, and I'll do that, and that's fine. I look forward to it. But to know that, like, okay, the big block of work that's been weighing me down is done, was so freeing. So like when we got to the pub, and I was just like, I could relax a bit, So yeah, that was a big moment to just kind of take stock of that and recognize it in the moment. So
I'm glad. I'm glad, because I could see that pain, and it's watching it happen is we're not being able to have an impact on it, right? It's difficult to watch. I have a different, you see people and you say when you start a business, it's 80-hour weeks for years and years and years. I don't know if I agree with that, right? I do think you have to work hard and you have to work for a long period of time for not a lot of reward, initial reward. I think that's absolutely true. But I think that's a marathon and not a sprint, right? If you could do, I think we can all run sprints, but to run at 130% for 5 years, it's going to affect health and do lots of things. But back in 2019, I was lucky enough to go to Barcelona with the company I worked with, and I got to see Lionel Messi play soccer or football. Do you know who he is?
I know of him. I don't know. I know he's like an incredibly famous and good soccer player.
So yeah, for those who don't know Lionel Messi, he's one of the best football players of our time. Like he's towards his retirement now. I don't follow football too much, but he is unbelievable. Like thousands of goals that he scored. Anyway, I watched him play in a Champions League game, which is the best of the best were playing in this game. And I thought him being of the caliber that he could play, that he's known for and he's scored, he would be running around the field all the time. And when I watched him, he never ran at all. Like he was just so taking it easy, and he would run for the final 10 meters and outpace everyone and score a goal. Like he scored 5 goals in that night. One of the best things that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then it made me rethink like effort in business. And I thought the Messi effect, we're built on the Messi effect. We run at 70% of the time when we need to, but when we need to sprint hard, we sprint hard for short periods of time, but then we need to back off a bit. Otherwise we'll fuck out.
Yeah.
Right. And you've just had a big sprint and to sustain it, go back to your 70%. It's how people train for marathons and Ironman, right? You do zone 2 training. Like you work at zone 2 consistently, like 70% of your heart rate. If you do that over and over and over again, you'll beat people who sprint for periods of time and then stop, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what we do. Like I feel myself sometimes and I just go, I'm just not feeling it today, or sometimes I'll just go and have a day where I'm here and I do what I need to do with clients or whatever, but I just need a day. Yeah. Like I'm really, really conscious about keeping my self stable.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't fucking do anything about it, and you got to deal with it. But at the end, you got to equalize out a little bit. So
it's like sleep deficit type of a thing. You know, you got to have a catch up. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it felt good to have some catch up, and so I hope to not do much work this weekend. Like honestly, working on weekends really doesn't bum me out. I don't like just kind of sitting around with nothing to do. Maybe that's a sign. Okay, I should find more stuff to do. But it has just become my norm that, I normally will do a bit of work on the weekend, like working for yourself, especially with my primary job being an agency. Like I'm just always kind of working. Yeah. There's always stuff to do.
Yeah. And you being like you working on the weekends now when you've got no other commitments is absolutely fill your boots.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's going to change in a couple of years' time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And that's, with family and stuff, that's totally fine. So you're right. But it's nice to not have to work on the weekend.
100%.
You know? Yeah. So that's like a big unlock that has just happened here.
And it's absolutely, I agree with you. And I wouldn't be doing the businesses justice if I was to do your start at 9, which is when you're typically start, right? And then finish at 4 o'clock. Like, cause I finish earlier in the afternoon than you. But so to compensate from that, like I'm up at 4 a.m. Like, and by the time you get to work at 9, I've knocked out 5 hours worth of work. Right. Yeah. And then I start fading out a little bit towards lunch, but but that's taken a long time to be able to get to that point. Like doing that 4 o'clock every morning, it was just killer. It was been okay this week because I got up, I'm starting to wake up at 4 o'clock now without the alarm going off. So, but even then I feel like, no, I need to sleep in today. So I'm a bit relaxed on it, but I definitely, try to stay mentally what's comfortable in my mind as well, right? I can't work in high periods or long periods of stress.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that subject, you've been doing YouTube videos lately, daily YouTube videos.
Yep.
And I'll put a link to this episode where you've just talked about getting up at 4 a.m. And it seems to be resonating with people. It's one of your more popular videos lately, right? So quite interesting how you go through it. I've been watching each of them each day, when I hop into bed, basically. And it's just like, don't make it weird. And it's like
Mate,
a
you've
nice
talked
way
about having 2 showers and then hopping into bed. It's not me.
It's a nice way to kind of...
You just gaslit me there. No.
I don't think I did. It's a nice way to kind of check in on, okay, what are you up to? Because you do, kind of half the videos you're normally kind of talking about SixSides. So it's kind of nice to hear what you're doing there in this business, but then also what you're doing in Deal Buddy as well.
You make a big appearance in my video today, actually.
Today's one?
Yeah, so I was recording that before we caught up today. So it's actually, I'm doing the pros and cons of working with an agency and having a technical co-founder. Yeah. And
excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to watching it tonight when I go to bed after my second shower. So.
Watch in the shower.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, cool. Okay. Well, it is interesting. So if you like listening to Gavin, then you can have all Gavin all the time on his YouTube channel. So
yeah. Sounds like
suss it out.
Why would you say no? Like, to be honest, when you put it like that, Mitch, you're in the wrong area. You should be in sales.
Yeah, that's right. So our final topic for this episode is, you remember before I went to Bali, we had this long spiel for like a week or two, going through writing blog articles on our SixSides.co website. Yep. You remember that?
And I didn't do a thing.
And how you pushed me so hard to get the blog article writing system up to date and ready to go before I went on my Bali trip. Yep. And how many articles got written during that time?
There's a technical issue.
Yeah, right.
Mainly with my brain. It's on my list on my Trello board, but I just haven't got to it. And I apologize. Right. Yeah.
No. To be clear, it's fine. But this week, I was like, I think we need to get some articles up. So what I've started doing, and I think it's fine if we share exactly what we're doing. There's no harm in it. What I've been doing, I've talked about maybe last week, I think, about how we edit this podcast and come up with the show notes and links and blah, 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 all this sort of stuff. I kind of walked through it a little. But it does involve a custom GPT that I've written, which kind of knows our process, knows who we are, da-da-da-da-da. So I give it a transcript of every episode. I get that out of Riverside. And then it'll basically spit out show notes and like a list of 20 titles we might want and da-da-da-da. That's worked really well for 6 months now. But what I changed literally Wednesday night, I think, so it's very recent, I was like, right, we need to start indexing on Google for some of this stuff. We need to get some SEO happening. Let's get some content out of these podcasts because it's really low effort. Like you and I just get on and we just talk, and I feel like it makes for decent audio, and hopefully if you're listening to this, you agree, but it's not like we're having to prep for 6 hours to then record a 1 hour conversation, right?
Yep.
It flows really easily. So we've already got the transcript. Let's generate some content. So I've updated that GPT that I've written to do this. So now, after I give it the transcript and it gives me the show notes and titles, whatever, it then also gives like, hey, these are maybe 20 different blog article titles that you might consider putting up on the site. So I started doing that, and I've now kind of backdated some of our recent episodes. So I went through and did one from Roman. I think that was episode 21. I did one about the grant writing, and that I sent that to you, kind of like a guide to writing grant articles, grant submissions. And it went really well. You were like, mate, this is fantastic. And it doesn't feel like it's written by ChatGPT because it's based on our content. It's not just like pulling random crap.
It's editing, not creating, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So,
I think that's important. Sorry to jump in. I think that's really important. Otherwise, it's not original. It's not evergreen, right? It's which way people are just creating so much stuff. I won't say shit, but there is so much shit out there. But I think it's got to stem from evergreen or original pillared content, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be like, what's the point? So,
yeah. It's then just like fake articles that are, bullshit. So this has proved to be really powerful. And now I can already to edit this episode that we're recording right now is going to take me less than 20 minutes to have everything done. And now with probably another 10 minutes of work, this can turn into 1 or 2 articles that can just instantly go up on the blog, publish them when this episode is released. So starting to get the flywheel happening for coming up with more content with less work, right?
Sure.
So this morning we sat down before we recorded, we went through how it works, and then we're thinking that I'm going to spearhead this part of our content that we're going to create, blog articles and stuff. So I'll mostly do stuff that relates to the podcast, and then of course anything really technical, like I put up an article on Cloudflare's durable objects, and it was based on the conversation that we had like a couple of episodes ago, but yeah, I've put that up, and that's from my way of phrasing things and my perspective. And then you're largely going to go after the event organizers, that audience. So writing content that appeals hopefully to that market.
Sure.
So
with that, do we have traffic? Like, are we monitoring traffic coming to the site so we can see?
I thought we were, but then I logged into Fathom Analytics and I couldn't find it. So maybe we're not. So that's something that I'll look at before next episode.
Yeah. And can you tell if we're getting pulled? Because I know GPT is pulling information from sites. Can you tell if stuff's being pulled?
I think you can only, like if ChatGPT is like indexing our content. I think Cloudflare has some stuff in that space now to be able to kind of see that and actually block it and make websites pay for it. We wouldn't want to do that. We want to get on there, but that's more for like news articles and stuff. But so it's a good question. I'll have to have a look. I doubt that we're on the radar because like even if you Google SixSides, we hardly come up at the moment. So I'm not quite sure what's going on.
Oh, it come up the other day. It was indexed with our logo.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. If I search SixSides, we come up as the top one. So that's but that
above
might be
SixSides.com.
If you search, oh really? Above the .com. We don't need it.
Fuck them.
Bloody pricks.
We know spaces. Interior design tech. Yeah, right.
Yeah, don't know. Anyway, so look, this is
no, it's SixSides. SixSides.
Oh, right.
Gotcha.
That's how they get you, mate.
Mate,
Ides.
I once bought this is dating myself a little bit, but back in the day before DVDs and all this stuff, Netflix, they used to be video recorders, right?
Yeah.
I once bought a Panasonic video recorder and I had it for years. And then years later, I was looking at a catalog and it said, Palsonic. So I was like, what kind of fool falls for that? And I was like, hang on a second, that was mine. I know I had a Palsonic for so many years. Yeah, anyway.
That's all right. I think Palsonic rings a bell for me as well. You're not the only one, but anyway, look, this is a part of the strategy. It's just what we're doing for now with these blog articles. It's working really well. Like I think the articles that we put up now, I think there's 5 now, look pretty good. It's generating the cover art as well. So look, if you're out there and this is something that you're doing, it's certainly an interesting strategy to have it edit, not create. So it's proving pretty powerful for us.
So there's platforms like Leadfeeder, and I'm just looking at Snitcher's one that's come up at the moment, where they can actually tell you who's looking at your website, like what companies are looking at your website.
Yeah.
Um,
That's something I'd be interested in for sure.
Yeah, because you want to see, sometimes what happens is with lead generation, they don't necessarily come back to you, but they'll go to your website and you can see what they've looked at. You go, oh, at least they're getting the message, right? And then you can see them pop up. It's actually not a bad. So Git, GTM teams use Snitcher to identify, enrich, and engage visitors the moment they land.
Are they like incredibly expensive though? That sounds very valuable.
Yeah, no, Stitcher's free. Try before you 2 weeks access. One is $69 a month, up to 50 companies.
I thought you were going to say it's free for 2 weeks and then it's call us for the enterprise plan.
No. Then Leadfeeder is free for 7 days of data.
Right. Okay.
So we'd have to review it weekly.
That's okay. It can be a part of your standard sales cycle work.
Yeah.
So,
might be worthwhile just looking at leadfeeder.com and it's free. Just put it on there and just have a look. Other than that, it goes to $99 a month, pounds, I think. Yeah.
Pounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It gets expensive after a bit, but I'm sure that's just 2 that I've seen in the searches, right? I'm sure there'll be way more of them. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, why don't we also try and set that up for next week? I'll add a few things on my list. All good. Why don't we wrap up the show there then? So
why don't we wrap up the show? Yeah.
Well, let me just wrap it up then. So
all right. Consider it wrapping up. We're moving into the wrapping up phase, everybody.
Yeah, we've entered the wrapping up phase. That's right. So, look, we'd love if you would leave us a review and a rating. We didn't actually check after I made a song and a dance about it at the start of last week.
Yeah,
so my apologies. If you did leave us one, thank you. We'll check it out for next week, I'm sure. But I'd love if you would leave us one. And
did I tell you as a rapper back in the day?
No.
Yeah. At Christmas, I would work for Grace Brothers and wrap people's presents. Yeah.
So not the
boom boom.
Not,
yeah, boom boom.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you snuck that in.
Feel free to edit that one out or put it in as a short. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. You can find me online, Mitch Dav, on Twitter and Blue Sky and GitHub and LinkedIn and YouTube. Where can people find you, mate?
Mainly on LinkedIn, Gavin Ty, TYE, and also on LinkedIn. Also on YouTube.
Oh my God.
Yeah, sure. We really finished
It is late
here.
in the day for you, isn't it? You've been up since, very early. Yeah. On YouTube, you can find Gavin on YouTube, and it's good. I encourage you to go check it out.
It's not great, but
he's working
one
on
step.
it.
Yeah, it's one step closer.
I'll let you know when it's great. All right, we'll come back. I'll keep you posted. But
thanks.
Check us out and head to SixSides.co if you're interested in what we're doing. Check out all the blog articles, the podcasts. It's all up there. We're doing it all year.
Yeah.
We will catch you all next week when, by then, Denmark will already be underway. So that will be exciting. Yeah. So by the time we record on Friday morning next week, Denmark will be in day 2.
You'll be tired, mate. You'll be tired.
I will be. It's going to be a different time zone, so we might have to, maybe we move the recording actually.
No.
The
audience deserves.
Easy for you to say. You won't have to be up till freaking 6 a.m. or something like that. Whatever
the audience deserves to look under the hood.
Yeah, okay. You might have to carry that episode.
I will.
We'll see. Anyway, all right. We will catch you all then. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.